Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mina, and today's video is going to really bring out the competitiveness that I have inside of me. I have been using Goodreads for probably close on 10 years now, if not more. No, scratch that, it's definitely been longer than 10 years, and though the interface has stayed the same, I have remained loyal to none other than Goodreads. And this year they have changed their reading challenge. Every year you can pick a challenge of how many books you're going to read, and every book you read, Goodreads will count it towards that challenge. So if you want to read 100 books, they will keep a countdown and tell you how far ahead or how far behind you are. And this year they have badges that you can earn, like bookmark badges. I will put a video of it right here somewhere, a screen recording, because this is new, and in the 10 plus years that I've been using the website and the app, this has not been a thing. And so when I saw it, I knew that it was something that I wanted to achieve. I have read one book that has earned me a singular badge, and that has been the intro to my competitive streak when it comes to the badges that I want to win. So I am going to be doing this video where I read a book for every badge possible that is available right now, because they do tend to reveal them throughout the months. I believe they have one that's being revealed in February, and they have one that's being revealed in March, and I don't know if they're going to renew them every quarter of the year, but for right now there is 6, I believe, and I have one of them. So I am going to read another 5, and I am going to earn all of the badges that are available, and we are going to go from there, because this feeds my competitiveness and I really needed it. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. I'm a nuisance when it comes to badges and being competitive, and I have nothing else in my life to be competitive about other than this. And literally there's no one forcing me to do this, and there's no one being competitive with me. It's just me, myself, and I. The first challenge badge that I'm going to be trying to win and will be winning is going to be the Era Explorer, which says collect this achievement when you read one of the most popular historical fiction novels according to readers. And if you go to browse qualifying books, it just tells you a bunch of options, and I read a couple of them myself, and I have decided to land on none other than Kristen Hanna's The Women, because honestly, this is a book that I've been meaning to read myself. I have read a couple of Kristen Hanna books before, and I really enjoy her way of writing. I have no idea what this is about. All I know is that I have checked it out of the library a couple of times before. I just never got the time to actually read it, and I didn't have any other video to read it for. So when I knew that this was an option for one of the Goodreads badges, I thought, what greater idea than to read this book for one of the badges. I heard it's a very, very highly well-rated and well-loved book, which makes sense because it's Kristen Hanna. So this is the first book that I'm going to be doing for Era Explorer, and I'm going to be starting this soon. I will let you know my thoughts and opinions on it. I have, like I said, no idea what it's about other than the fact that it's a historical fiction novel written by the same author of The Nightingale. It has a little picture in the end, which is so cute. Very pretty. Vietnam Women's Memorial. This looks like it's going to be a story about women, first and foremost, which I love. It's 464 pages, and I'm going to be picking this up very soon, and I hope I love it, because I love Kristen Hanna and her writing. So I am so excited to finally pick this up. Started with The Women by Kristen Hanna, and now I am on page, I'm actually really far in. I'm on page 367 out of 464 pages, so I am just a little bit under 100 pages left. This follows the story of this girl who has a brother who is in the military, in the Navy, who gets recruited for the Vietnam War, and he goes and then he dies, and she goes to follow him, and she only finds out about his passing away after she gets there and becomes a nurse. And it's not really well known that there was a lot of women in the Vietnam War, and it's not very talked about either, so everybody tries to erase the women that are in the war. She is only 20 years old, I believe, when she does decide to volunteer to go to war, and it's her story about how she comes into herself and what her life is like after she comes home from the Vietnam War after serving her 2 tours, I believe. We follow her as she falls in love and she sees all these people, and she meets her brand new friends and falls in love for the first time and decides to stop being such a good girl. And the book mainly focuses on women and how much they were erased during the war on Vietnam, how much people didn't really talk about the war when they came back from it, and how instead of being war heroes they were treated as if they were criminals, and how a lot of people didn't believe that there was women helping in the war even if they were nurses. Like, nobody believes her when she comes home after the war and tells them that she was a part of the war and that she was a nurse and that she was a surgical trauma nurse. It's really unfortunate. Reading a story like this is so eye-opening. At 360 something pages, I'm really enjoying the story. I think Kristen Hanna has such a beautiful way of describing characters and describing stories and really getting you to care about the characters. This book feels so real to me. I feel like I'm actually experiencing this with people that I actually know and that I'm actually watching it unfold. It would be such a good either TV show or a movie. I'm really enjoying it, so much to the point where I think I am going to be rating it very highly, although the part that I just got to has really pissed me off because there's been 2 different plot twists that happen that kind of pissed me off a lot. So that might take it down a star or 2. If you've read them, then you know what they are. I don't know where she's gonna go from here. I know I'm being very vague, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. At some point, it just gets to be like, we don't need to be doing all of that. We didn't need to do that specific thing. I'm going to read a little bit more, and my camera's flashing, so I am going to go finish it, and then I will come back to you with my final thoughts. Pissed me off so much. We had the worst trope that potentially I could think of, and anytime we personally as a reader heal from the specific thing that happens to this character because you're rooting for it to happen and you can see it happening and it's blossoming into something so beautiful, and then we lose that, and then you just basically got over it, you just put a band-aid over the wound, right? She makes another thing happen that's like, okay, I guess this makes up for what we just went through in the beginning, and then she makes that disappear as well, and then we go back for full circle to the very first thing that we healed from. So then what? Like, This had so much potential. This had so much potential. And I don't know if it's just me being picky or me being annoying or me being just really, really done, because I felt like I went through so much, and I can only imagine like the character and the people of Vietnam actually going through these things. Like, I understand that this is supposed to be a very realistic story to the struggles of women who fought in the War of Vietnam, but like, it's like we didn't need to go in circles the way that we did. It really, really upset me that it felt like it was like the plot twists were happening to keep the story interesting when we didn't need to do that, because the story was interesting on its own. Frankie as a character was so interesting on her own. All of her struggles, everything that she went through, the war, everything that she went through was already so interesting as it was. We did not need to do everything that we did. I don't know why the author decided to go in the way that she went. I'm only so hurt and so upset because I really, really enjoyed this book. And I was genuinely so close to giving it a 5 stars, because in the beginning, I was so in love with this book. I love the way that it's told. I love the characters. I feel like we just take a turn after the character comes home from the war. It just takes like a severe turn. And I'm not talking about the stuff that happens because the character has PTSD. I understand that. Trust and believe, I understand that. I understand that she went through some of the things that she went through because she has PTSD, and she did some of the things that she did because she has PTSD. So therefore her brain is not fully functioning in the way that it should. I understand that. I'm talking about the love interest specifically. Why did we need to do all of that? I feel like we just went so severely south when it came to the romance in this book. And I just don't understand why. I think right now I'm gonna settle on a 3.75 because first of all, the ending pissed me off. There was 2 plot twists that also pissed me off. And I feel like we lost the integrity of the main character. I'm gonna earn the badge because I deserve it for everything that I just went through. It took me 2 days to read this book, and this was for the Era Explorer badge, I believe. So here we go. I'm gonna give it a 5 star on Goodreads because you can't do a half star rating. Can I please? Thank you. 3.75 stars. Done. Okay. Has 4.6 star ratings. That's atrocious. How did they do that? How did they manage that? Yay, we got it. Here we go. 81 days left. Can I see it? Oh, I can't. This way? Okay. Era Explorer. Yippee. One of history books. Done. Now we have Epic Quest, Essential Reader, Sweet and Spicy, and then one that hasn't been revealed yet, which is Mystery. Just to reiterate, very upset at this, very upset. We are going to be doing the next badge. It is the Essential Reader Achievement badge, which is collect this achievement when you read one of these essential books from Black authors. And if you browse the qualifying books, I've looked through all of these ones and I really wasn't interested in many of them, to be honest. None of them really struck my fancy. Other than the Kiss Countdown, I thought it was really, really cute. And then, where is it? And then the Partner Plot, which is the one that I am going to be reading. Christina Forrest, it has 3.8 stars on Goodreads. That is what I'm going to be reading. I have it right here. This is the Partner Plot. I don't know what this is about. Apparently, it's a second chance in this marriage of convenience. So it's a marriage of convenience romance. I am going to start this tomorrow, and I believe, honestly, it's going to be really easy, really cute, a really fun romance, and I'm really excited to get another badge because I am getting very high off of seeing the badges appear. I do love me a good marriage of convenience plot and a good pink cover. So I will see you tomorrow when we earn another badge. the Partner Plot, which is a story following these two people who fall in love when they're in high school and things happen. She wants to be a famous celebrity stylist and he wants to be a basketball player, and somehow, some way, some things happen between them and they end up breaking up, and she ends up going off on her own, doing her own thing, and somehow years later down the road, on his birthday, they end up meeting in Vegas because she is with this celebrity, Nicki Minaj-alike rapper. They're in Vegas with her. He's in Vegas with his cousin, and they're celebrating his birthday. And they run into each other. They get married in Vegas, and somehow it gets out to everybody in an article where she says that she married her high school sweetheart because she's trying to save face because her ex gets brought up into the conversation, and it gets out to everybody in her hometown that she's married to him, and everybody knows who she's talking about because he was her only high school sweetheart. And then they have to fake date and fake marry because it's easier for him to get the job that he wants if he's married, because it makes him seem like a dependable, less flighty person if he's married, according to the man that wants to hire him. And so he gets something by this, she gets something by this. They decide to agree to continue the sham of the fake marriage to get everybody off their backs. And it kind of low-key reminds me of Play Along, Liz Tomford. It kind of has the same premise. So if you liked the Play Along book, I think this one is good as well. In my opinion, I will say that I think Play Along is a little bit better because I just adore Liz Tomford's writing and the way that she creates the characters. But this one is also really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really liked the way that the characters were written. It felt very realistic to real life. It felt like you were rooting for these people and you adored them, and you could see how much they adored each other and how much they wanted to be together. And it warmed my heart seeing them fall back in love with each other. And the story was just really, really wholesome, really, really sweet, really adorable. I really liked it. I definitely recommend it. I think I'm going to give this one 3.5 stars. While it is really, really cute and really adorable and really fun, I do think, like I said, I think Liz Tomford did it better in her book Play Along, because I felt like with Play Along, I was actually physically giggling and blushing and kicking my feet, twirling my hair, and like falling in love with the character, the main guy character, myself. With this one, I wanted them to be together because I just rooted for them, because you could see how much they mean to each other and how much life had separated them, but somehow they found their way back to each other. That means we move on to the next batch that I want to get in this video, and I don't know what it is yet because I have not decided which one I want to get yet, which one I want to read first, because I have 2 more, I believe, before the one in March gets unveiled. This is so exciting. This is the most fun I've had filming a video in a while. Welcome back. It is another day, another badge. And today's badge is going to be, let me actually remember, I believe it is the Epic Quest badge. And if you browse qualifying books, then I have a few that I've read from this specific one. I've read Babel, The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, The Familiar, A River Enchanted, and I have a couple on here that I have been meaning to read, like the Chloe Gong Immortal book. That is something that I was interested in reading that I thought could be a potential for this video. I also had the Cassandra Clare Swordcatcher on here, and The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. And I looked through all of these, and though I am very, very interested in a lot of them, the one that I have been meaning to read for a very long time is none other than Starling House by Alex E. Harrow, because I have read a couple of works by Alex E. Harrow. I read the 10,000 Doors of January also, and I really, really enjoyed that one. I think Alex E. Harrow is one of the most talented authors there is when it comes to the fantasy genre. And for the Epic Quest, I thought that this one would be a great, great contender, because Alex E. Harrow writes a lot of really good quests, and especially epic ones. That's the book I'm going to be reading for the Epic Quest bookmark badge situation on Goodreads. I'm very excited, and I love this cover so much. This one is one of my favorite covers I think I've ever seen, and it's blurbed by Olivia Blake, which is also one of my favorite authors of all time. And I believe this book is literally just a bit over 300 pages, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's like 304 pages, and it's gonna take me no time to read because I just fly through Alex E. Harrow's writing. officially finished with Starling House, as you saw, and I'm giving this one a 3.75 stars. It's basically about this house that is feared, and the guy who owns it kind of is like Boo Radley. I really enjoyed it. I really like the way that Alexi Harrow writes. I think she's so good at writing atmospheric writing, and this one is very gothic and very, very dark, very interesting, very just atmospheric, and like it has the vibes. And I feel like this one would be better read in the fall months and like towards Halloween, because it's about a very creepy house that is basically a character in and of itself, and this girl and this guy who are trying to see who the last person is to take care of this house according to the specific prophecy thing. And it is a little bit confusing, but I noticed that that's a running theme when it comes to Alexi Harrow's writing. She has the way that she starts her stories is that basically she throws you into the deep end and you have to kind of like backtrack and try to understand what's going on. Though they are confusing to start, I do think that it's worth it because the stories that she tells are not told by anybody else that I've read from, and I really like her writing style. I really like the characters that she creates. I like how the house in this book was basically like a character itself. I really like when inanimate things are very important to the story. I'm so glad that we have another patch, and now we have 2 more to go, and let's go see what's the next badge that I'm going to be earning. I'm so excited. The badge that I am going to be earning today is none other than the Sweet and Spicy badge, which is collect this achievement when you read one of these sweet or spicy romances. And then if you go into the books, I have read a lot of them, as you can see as I'm scrolling, and I was going to read the House of Flame and Shadow. What is the name of that series? You know, the Sarah J Maas series. I was going to read that one, but then decided against it. And then I was going to read something from Elora and Asher because I already read the first book, decided against it. And then I was going to read Quicksilver, and then I saw some people talk about it and I decided not to. And then I kept scrolling and kept scrolling and kept scrolling until I stopped right here. Phantasma. And guess who has been meaning to read Phantasma for a very long time? Me, this girl. I have been meaning to read Phantasma since I heard about it, maybe in November. I was thinking about what video to put the book in because I've heard a lot of people adore it and a lot of people have a lot of reaction towards it. And so I was wondering what video I would be able to put Phantasma in, and I didn't know. And I was just going to do like a random week in my life where I'm reading and sneak it in that way until I saw this badge and I saw this book as being one of the options. So I'm finally going to be reading Phantasma for the Sweet and Spicy badge, and I'm so excited because this is one of my most anticipated reads. I have been looking forward to reading this for a very long time, and so now that finally the time is coming, I cannot wait. I'm going to pick this up immediately, as early and as soon as I possibly can. All I know is that I've seen a lot of people read it and adore it, and the second book I believe comes out this year. So if I like this, I won't have to wait a long time for the second book. I'm gonna win this badge in no time. And I am really enjoying it. I did not think that this book would read so quickly, and I honestly was a little bit intimidated by it because it's almost like 500 pages, and so I was kind of like iffy on that because I'm having a really long week and I really didn't want to start a book that was going to be difficult for me to keep up with. But for some reason, this book is actually flying by, and I'm really enjoying the way that it's written, and I'm really enjoying the characters and the sisterhood of the 2 characters in the beginning. If you've read this book, then you know it's basically about this girl who enters this trial, I guess, thing called Phantasma. She just entered it, so I really don't know much about it other than the fact that it's a romantasy. There's devils and apparitions, and her mother just passed, and their manor is about to be foreclosed. The main character thinks that her sister joined Phantasma to be able to pay for the manor, and so she goes and joins Phantasma as well to try to find her sister. And it's looking like it's about to be really, really entertaining and really interesting. I'm really enjoying the main character, and I'm really enjoying the setting and the atmosphere of it. It's very atmospheric, very gothic, very a lot. And also the main character deals with OCD, and in such a realistic way. I feel like I've never read about a character that deals with OCD in the way that this character does, because she has compulsions, and they really, like, you can see how much she struggles with them and struggles with not performing specific compulsions that her brain tells her to do. So really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the fact that the sisters feel like they have a real relationship and like they're actually sisters, instead of like the typical, you know, like when a character does not have siblings and writes a sibling relationship, then you can kind of tell because you're like, siblings would never speak this way. This one is definitely like, I could see sisters speaking this way because I speak like that with my sister. So it feels very real. I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying the atmosphere and the characters, and I'm flying through it.
Oh my God, my Shayla. my...
Hi, welcome back. It is a new day, and I have finished with probably what is going to be the best book of this video, Phantasma. 5 stars. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now let's go see my badge of honor. And there she is, sweet and spicy. I'm so happy. The last time I updated you, I was talking about how I think that the sisterhood was done really, really well in this book, and how even though it's very intimidating size-wise, it's very easy to jump into and really just fall into the story. And that's exactly what I did. That's why I didn't update you anytime since I updated you last, which was yesterday morning. I read it in one singular stretch of time because I could not put it down. I love this book so much. I love the sisterhood. I love Ophi. I love Genevieve. I love my husband. I love him so much because he is so just And then the little twist that was in the end was something that I absolutely did not expect to happen. And so when it did happen, it caught me so off guard. I think you could see my reaction because I filmed towards the end of my reading experience today, which is when the twist happens. And this twist is everything that everybody and their mother talks about when they bring up this book. And I understand why it is so talked about, because it was not what I expected at all. And I thought I knew what was happening. I did not clearly know what was happening because I did not clock it. I didn't know what was happening. I really, really adored this book, and I'm so glad I finally got to pick it up for this video. 5 stars. It might be the singular 5-star that we have in this video. I don't put that past it. It is my first 5-star of the month, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I love every single character. I love the way that it just kept you on your toes the entire time. It was never lagging. There was never a moment where I felt bored and I wanted to just like put it down. I was intimidated by it at first, like I said, because I think the hype of it really got to me, and I was so scared that I was going to read it and not enjoy it, because I've read so many other romanticities that everybody and their mother just raves about that I didn't end up enjoying. But this one struck true to my heart, and it's everything. It's giving everything. It's giving just all the good vibes, all the good feels, everything that you love about a romantasy. There's the morally gray love interest and a like headstrong, stubborn female character, and I just really, really adored it, loved it. I have nothing but good things to say about it, and I'm so excited for the second book. We'll be rereading it. That's absolutely sure. Yep. I will absolutely be rereading it. I cannot get the next badge until March. As I'm filming this, today is February 19th. So we have like 10 more days until the new badge is revealed. I will see you when the next badge gets revealed and I pick a book, and then that will be the last badge that we do in this video. This video is so long, and I already know that this is going to be one of the longer videos on my channel. I'm not even mad about it, because I love me a good long form content anywhere, and I will watch it anywhere. Put it on in the background, listen to it like a podcast. I love long form content, so I love creating it as well. I hope you're enjoying it, and I will see you for the last badge of this video. It is officially March, and I have been filming this video for what feels like forever. Since it is the first week of March, that means the last batch has finally been revealed, and I am going to show you what it is and talk about which book I decided to pick for it. As you can see, I have all of them except for Her Story, which if you click on and then you click browse qualifying books, then you can see, I don't know why it's always so slow when I do the screen recording. My Wi-Fi ends up being so slow for some reason, and it is I didn't even tell you what it was. It's collect this achievement when you read one of these fascinating titles about and by women. So this is for the Women's History Month, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That is what this batch is for. Obviously it's called Her Story. So there's a bunch of books that have been picked for this one. While You Were Out by Meg Kissinger, I think. And it is While You Were Out, an intimate family portrait of mental illness in an era of silence. And I believe this one is a memoir. That is the book that I decided to pick. I have it right here. I got it from my library. It looks very, very fascinating. This has been on my TBR for a very long time. I think this one probably follows a few people that are in the family, because in the beginning when you open it, it has a family portrait. And then each chapter, from what I could see, has a picture in the title. So I'm very, very excited, and I think this is going to be very, very fascinating and very interesting, and this is going to be my final book for this video and my final badge, and I'm very, very excited. So I'm going to pick this up, and then I will tell you how I feel about it as we go about it. This has been a video of very interesting reads from very different genres, so I'm having the best time. And yeah, I will see you when I pick it up. officially the end of this video. I have started with and finished While You Were Away by Meg Kissinger, and this follows the story of a family that dealt with mental illness from the very beginning, but it wasn't really as prevalent back then as it is now. We just follow Meg and her entire family as she goes through her life and how basically mental illness affects her family in more ways than one and hurts her family in more ways than one. And it's basically talking about how mental illness, without being treated or without being really recognized as it wasn't back then, it really is a dangerous thing, because we watch Meg basically lose people left and right, and we watch her struggle with her own mental crises and watch her family around her also deal with the same thing, but none of them get help because none of them were raised to believe that they need help. I thought it was very, very interesting. I am not going to give it any rating because I don't feel like I can really give a memoir a rating, so I'm just going to say no rating. But here we are. Over here I'm going to be putting a video of me basically getting the badge, which is the last badge, and I believe it's called the Her Story badge. So with that being said, that is it. This is every single badge that is available right now, other than the monthly badges, because I know they give you monthly badges as well. So there's like a January badge, a February, a March, April. If you go above what you read last year, you also get a badge, which I don't think I'm gonna get that one because last year I read like 210 books. I don't see myself doing that this year. So I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's a badge that I am going to be getting. But with that being said, that is every singular badge that is available right now. I don't know if they are going to renew them as the months go on, because I do think that with the timer that they have, because there is a timer for this at least, I don't know what the timer is for, if not to renew the badges, because I feel like 6 badges per year is kind of lame. So maybe they're going to be changing it every 4 months or something like that. I don't know, but either way, if they do change them, I will be doing this video again because I had so much fun. This really fed my inner competitive streak, because I have not really exercise my competitive muscle as much as I would like to lately in my life. So this was so fun. I filmed this video over the span of a few months, so it's been a while since I started this video, but I am so glad and so excited that I decided to do it. I think obviously it's very clear the book that I enjoyed the most in this video was none other than Phantasma, because that was such a fun experience. I still think about it very frequently, and I already am so ready for the second book in the series. I don't know where it's going to go, and I have not checked to see if there's like a blurb or a summary or anything, so I have no idea what it's going to be about, but I am excited nonetheless because I really enjoyed the writing. And yeah, that is it. I'm so glad to have won all these badges. Let me know down below if you've won any of these badges and which one you liked the most. Let me know if you enjoyed this video and if you want a part 2 if they do exchange the badges, because I think this is such a fun experiment and I really had a lot of fun, and I got to pick from a variety of books, which doesn't really happen often when I'm doing my regular videos. I hope you have the very best day. Treat yourself to something nice, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video. Goodbye!